Hello and welcome to Don't Ask When. We're talking optics and what's next at LaForge. So before we get into today's episode, which is episode number 4, what we really want to talk about is what happened between episode 2 and episode 3. We're actually trying to get these out about once a month, really about once every 3 weeks. And there's been this huge few month gap between episode 2 and episode 3. So what happened is over this summer, I suffered a personal loss, and I just needed some time to deal with that, sort of mentally, and with the support of my friends and things like that. But then on top of that, immediately after that happened, we started getting contacted by some really large companies who were interested in helping us make this product a bit faster and along the lines of quality that we wanted. So we've been contacted by companies like Foxconn, Goretech, Flextronics. We were even dealing with Qualcomm and some of their providers or service providers at some point, and also what was it, Molex too, to figure out how is it that we're going to produce this at scale. So when those sorts of big names come around, you tend to stop everything. So at us, it was so important. We actually even stopped our fundraise for about 2 months to deal with this, vet these companies, and see which one we worked with. So what the result of that is actually is one of them actually proposed us a really good deal, a deal that is pretty hard to say no to. We're not going to say which one of those companies it was, but what we can tell you is this, is that it's for the better and we're going to be accelerating development. Part of that means that some people will actually never end up getting an alpha prototype. Some people will just end up getting the beta version, and that's because there's a lot of things that with working with some of these partners, we have a lot more access to more technology and more components. It's pretty tough as a small company dealing with other companies and suppliers because they're constantly trying to get you to buy stuff you don't need and don't want in the first place to achieve some goal that honestly none of us care about. And other times, they kind of want to work with you and then they don't, or they don't like the fact that your minimum quantities might be in 100 because you're only making 100 samples, and they're trying to get big customers who want to do millions, which sort of a little sneak tip for companies out there. If you want to grow your business in a revolutionary field, it's not going to start with 1 million units on day one. Don't know why that needs to be stated, but there it is. So anyway, that's a little bit more about why there was this huge pause. Again, we're going to go back to trying to do these once a month. So again, that's why episode 3 and episode 4, I keep doing 2.
Yeah, it was like,
fuck. All right. So again, today, that's why episode 3 and episode 4, fuck, that's 5. Shit. All right. So again, that's why... All right, so again, that's why episode 3 and episode 4 are being released at the same time today. Episode 3 was recorded a few months ago. Episode 4 was actually recorded in, what is this? It's like the week before Halloween. It's the Friday before Halloween, basically. And so that's why we're going to release these at the same time. Hopefully get it out by Saturday. That's my goal. So let's get into it. So first, with how our optics work, the reason why we're talking about optics is because, like most companies, we sort of take a look at what's going on in the comment section. We take a look at other websites. And what I noticed was this, is that someone said, hey, that prototype we showed off didn't really work, and these guys never explain how our optics work. To be very clear, we've explained how our optics work several times. And two, if we're going to show you something that doesn't work, we will literally say it's a looks like prototype. Like this is a looks like prototype. What we're shipping out today, and actually for the past month, is this. This is an alpha here. So this is not the final product. This is something that we're using just to test the vertical height of these little chips that we put in here. So for example, to prove to you guys that this thing works, we have a little touch sensor in here. And when I touch it, this is going to get really bright. So you guys can see this here. So what we've done is we've taken a backlight and we've put it next to our lens. That's how our lens technology works. We go in from the side and you can see this. So you guys just see a white rectangle. The reason why we're shipping these out is many-fold. Mostly, like, it's pretty obvious we're not finished developing this. And two, we want a lot of feedback. And also three, people really have been waiting a while to get something. So the purpose of this is just to say, okay, based on what we know about your facial structure and all these sort of things, should this image be higher? Should it be lower? Should it be more to the left? Should it be more to the right? Again, this is similar to what we had shipped out, similar to what we had done earlier in the year with the sort of non-powered units, but that was really more so focused on distractions. So we've gotten data about how distracting it is to the passerby, how distracting it is to you, and in general, most people, I think over 90% of people said that it actually wasn't distracting at all. And with the exception of one person, they said no passerby even commented on these little chips that we put in here. So anyway, again, this is some proof that it does work. Of course, I could just be full of crap and then just, been peddling and patenting stuff for years, but that's for you to decide, right? So basically, all we're doing is this. We have a little display here, or sorry, backlight from a display. We're coming off of this. The next prototype, which will probably be Alpha Rev 0.5 or 0.4, we're not totally committed to the version numbers on this yet. It's really going to focus on, okay, this with a screen in it and taking a look at the clarity of that screen. So I'm going to just turn this off here again and just put my finger on it and it turns off. There's no button, it's just a touch screen. So going a bit deeper into what this system is, it's very, very simple. When I invented this device a few years ago, the optics that we base this on, or for those of you guys that know patent lingo, the prior art of this is actually from the Civil War. So I referenced a periscope from a submarine design from the Civil War. So anyone familiar with a periscope, they're very simple. It's either one mirror that's looking at another object or a mirror that's looking at another mirror. In our case, we did that, but we call it the mirror a reflective surface because that's how patents work. So what I have set up here is something that's really, really simple to show how this works. And it's this here. So I'm going to take, instead of a real mirror, we're going to take a black mirror, also known as a dead iPhone. And what I have set up here off camera is my laptop with the LaForge sort of logo going. So take a look here. So if you see here, let's see, there we go. Right about there, you will see there's LaForge logo, but it's sort of, backwards. There we go. And as I go like that, you can see more and more of it. So the deal with this is literally how our optics work, and it's also the approximate location of where our optics would be. So again, you're just looking at a mirror that's looking at a display, and whatever's on this display, in this case, look, my hands are coming across it, we can display whatever we want in this relatively small field of vision, and it leaves all of this area out here for you to enjoy and do whatever you want. That's known as reality. This is a sort of augmented reality or head-up display part, and this is reality. Sort of low latency, extremely low latency out there. All right? So that's the gist of how our optics work. However, because your eye is not a camera sensor, and clearly our mirror is closer to your eye than that camera is, we actually had to make that reflective surface curve. So that focuses the image, lets more light in, and it really helps your eye and your brain really distinguish what that is. What we've been doing over the course of a year is cleaning up these optics and working with a bunch of different suppliers to get these things more and more precise, which gives us a more and more crisp image. So that's basically it with how our optics work, if people wanted to know. On top of this, as I mentioned earlier, some of the things we've been doing over the summer, we're working with some of these suppliers and basically OEMs or ODMs, which stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer or Original Design Manufacturer. And we've been working with them about bringing this to market. So basically what we're going to be doing in the rest of 2018 is this. LaForge Optical is going to be phasing out its sort of prototyping for the public or prototyping for people who have pre-orders, and we're going to start phasing in the prototypes from our original equipment manufacturer, or just say our new manufacturing partner. The reason for that is that it does tie up a lot of time. We are trying to get these out to you, but the team that we've been adding to over the summer has really been focused on making prototypes to sort out relatively small details or little minor things supporting these companies, as well as working with other brands. And to be very clear, we are already working with other brands for our first release. So that can sort of get us into talking a little bit about what's next. So what's next for LaForge is this. We're going to be increasing the level of production of the alphas and the betas for next year to get these tests out, to get these sort of, not say test out, but let's just say to get more information about the parameters of the face so we don't have a lot of problems. The first product that we'll be releasing is going to be something that's simpler. We're not going to go into all the features of it, but we can say it will have a camera and it will feature voice, and we're talking to different partners about the voice side. It may be Alexa, it may be something from the Google side, it could be something from the Microsoft side. But for us, it's mostly about taking a look at sort of integrating more and more new technologies into the platform. There's some other features I'm leaving out for competitive reasons for now. After that, we're going to go into doing more of the beta releases for the display product, and then there's also something that we're going to be doing in the realm of computer vision down the road as well. So again, we know it's been a long wait, but you know, I'm starting to feel the momentum, and a lot of our investors are saying that they're feeling momentum here with us getting through this. Again, with us, we're not just a company that has licensed someone else's technology that was pretty much already done and integrated it. We built it from scratch on day one. Things did take a little longer, but it's actually been quite exciting, and we have a lot to offer, and we really are looking forward to seeing how our product fares against other products like the ones that were introduced earlier this week by North, as well as some of the other stalwarts like Vuzix and Epson and RealWear. So what I'm saying is this, as I said earlier at 2018 CES, even though this was somewhat controversial, I believe that 2019 is going to be the year of the wearable display. And so with that, there's episode number 4 of Don't Ask When. And starting next episode, we're going to start answering questions from people. So if you want to ask any questions, we have a phone number, and we also have an email address. Don't be shy, because we won't. Have a nice weekend. Bye.